What up, Thu?
Lock in your wins with Djbigboss's UFL picks. Want the inside scoop on the upcoming UFL games? Tune in to Djbigboss's UFL betting show, live every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there.
What up, thou? Live and direct, back where we supposed to be, on camera together doing this UFL. Me and my man Ramon Scott live this morning. How you feeling, Ramon?
Hey, real good, Big Boss. I figured if I didn't come here for the last week of the season and for the big matchups, and I know it's a little bit uh, anticlimactic this week. Not much to be determined, a little bit, but got to make it for this one just to show out here one more time with you and see if we want to call the regular season a success. See what we want to do moving forward too. Might be, I hope I could join you for the playoffs, but we'll see what you think here on the future as we know the matchup. So.
Absolutely, man. And me myself, I'm a totally honest person. So my record keeping is not the best, but I have myself at -3 units for the season on UFL so far. So I'm one good sweep away from turning things around. Last week got hit by the hook. Just a matter of when I put the bet in with the Panthers last week with the 4.5, and they only went to 4. So we win some, lose some, but it was a split. But I've been kind of better on Saturdays than I have been on Sunday, so I got something to be proud of about it. But shoot, let's get down to business and jump on into it. Here we go, right here. Today's first matchup this morning: Michigan Panthers at Birmingham Stallions. I'm gonna let you go first on this one while I handle a little back stuff on the channels here. Go
Oh,
for it,
sure
Ramon.
thing. Yeah, sure thing, Big Boss. Well, look, I mean, this is the big game of the season to a certain extent. I mean, we know what we're going to see, from these teams moving forward in the league championship game. So you just kind of wonder if they're, is it a situation where would you want to go out and show anything against your opponent or anything like that, or are you just going to use it as kind of a run through? For next week's game. There's still no doubt when you have the two best teams in the league record wise. I mean, you got obviously San Antonio's 7-2 as well as Michigan, but we talked about Birmingham all season. I think there'll likely be volatility in this game. Big Boss, why wouldn't I want to grab some points here in a game where I'm not sure really, given the nature of the league, the situation, how good these teams are. I can't pass on a touchdown when I quite frankly don't know if I have a game plan for this one as a bettor. And of course, I probably look to go over. I don't think there's going to be a lot of situation here where we're going to be thrilled about, making huge defensive stops or whatnot. And these two teams, yes, the defenses are good, but so are the offenses. So, just feels like in a game like this, Big Boss, these guys as good as it might actually be aesthetically pleasing a game because there might not be much defense. It feels like to me in this one.
Yeah, that we always reach this same road, especially in college football when you have these. I don't want to call them meaningless games because you can still back the fact that these players are trying to get into the league or stay in this league. So it's a short season. It's a lot of reasons for people to play hard, but I don't know. The key theory is when it comes down to this situation, which group performs well, the offensive team or the defensive team. So the for me the total is kind of out of the question because it could go either way
Mm,
easily. But the part that I gotta go for is one, Stallions are coming off of a loss. This game, I think no, I don't know if home field advantage could be disrupted, I believe, by this one. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they're 1-2, and I guess if Panthers beat them during the season right here, I don't know. They probably don't get it anyways. But anyways, Birmingham Stallions, they need to get people in the seats, and they're a winning organization that need people in the seats. They need confirmation on everything is about confirmation in year 2 right now. So they need confirmation in there. So I like that part of the Stallions, but then I also like Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez is up for most valuable player in the UFL, which pays an additional $7,500. So I expect him to show up today. And
Resting does nothing for a guy like Adrian Martinez, especially in a game like in this setting, Big Boss.
yeah, so I think he might step up. Just play a little. I think everybody's gonna be lax. Nobody's gonna want to give each other the game because they got to play him
Okay.
again. So they're gonna play as
Yeah.
lax as can. And obviously, talent wise, Birmingham is way better than the Panthers. So the better talent on the field, even playing lax, should lead to better results. And on top of that, the Panthers are banged up. They got quite a few players out this week. They had quite a few players at limited practice. They got a lot going on over there. So
Colburn being out, that's a big loss with no Colburn this week
yeah.
on that ground game.
So I'm authorizing the Birmingham Stallions -8, man. That's the best. I hate. We hate. That's a weird
Okay.
number. We hate to give it up, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So
Okay,
I'm
well,
on the
watch out, Nate
Stallions.
McCrary. Watch out for Nate McCrary carrying the ball. He's going to be my key for Michigan if we're going to stay in this game. And it looks like we're going heads up. But I'm going to need a contribution from him for sure because of the injuries that you mentioned. But Michigan's already said they're going to split the quarterbacks first half and second half here this week. Big Boss, you'll get Etling in the first half and Perkins in the second half.
Yeah, that's a good look too. But I don't know. The running game is so tough at Michigan. I don't even think which quarterback plays matters. The offense just kind of rolls how they roll.
Yeah,
But let's jump into the next one. Say it again.
5-game winning streak for Michigan. There were, it's funny. The format, I didn't look into. I think the format is supposed to be, even with the record discrepancy, this would be they play the. I'm not sure, but Birmingham is automatically the home team next week, even if Michigan win. I think they said that the Ford Field was already booked.
I can imagine, man. They
So
always put
Michigan
that kind of
couldn't
stuff.
host the game, even if they finished with a better record and the tiebreaker. So they're going to play at Birmingham out of necessity.
Oh wow, that's deep. Next, I think I got my games mixed up. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, next we got the Brahmas and St. Louis, right?
Uh, yeah. You want to stick with today, right? Yeah, the other big game, the other
Yeah,
significant,
today. Here we go. Sorry.
the other playoff teams, if you will.
Yeah, I
Go
think
ahead.
I missed the game in my stuff, but we'll get past that anyways. So
Yeah.
this game right here, I start us off right here. So AJ McCarron didn't show up last week. Wilkins he struggles in points, but he can handle things on with his feet at times too. So that's always a plus to keep teams off balance. Brahmas, on the other hand, they lose running back. Both running backs are not playing in this one right here, and this one right here is another one that's going to be a rematch in a couple weeks. But so looking at this one, I see a lot of good with the Battlehawks, even though we're not going to get AJ McCarron, or we could, because he definitely cleared to play.
Oh
So he
yeah,
could
I
come in.
expect him. I expect him, Big Boss, and I think once people realize that, there might be a move.
Yeah, he there's a possibility he could play. Um, that looks good. Oh shoot! Wait 1 second. Hold on. In the middle of my tracks. Oh, our guy Billy Briz in
What
the
up?
house. What's
What
going
up,
on,
boys?
Billy? How you feeling, man?
My bad. I was running on CP people time, as they would say. Just woke up and we're ready to go.
It's all good, man. It's
Looking
all
good,
good.
Billy.
So how you been doing in the UFL so far, Billy? I know this is our second or third year going at it with these little markets right here, and you always up for the challenge, man.
This year's been really good because they've with the investment into, I guess, the new ownership with Fox, because I think this is basically ran by the TV networks. They've really invested into the betting side of things. Of like, bro, when I'm looking at this game right now, we can bet anytime touchdowns for up to 10 people in this game. Like, this is crazy, man. Like, it still
Billy.
feels like
Danny Garcia runs this league.
Danny Garcia runs the league, but it's just crazy how how they have all these different props and stuff like that out for the bettors. They're making it a little bit more accommodating for sports bettors and stuff like that, and the people seem to have taken notice because it's getting really good views this year compared to other years.
Yeah, I'm liking that part too, and excited to see how they're gonna move going forward. It is a big thing with the coach's salary, though. That could be a problem in the long run because guys like my guy Holtz, if he wins this year, he gets his third championship, and he's still getting paid pretty low. So, and they talk about making cuts, so he's definitely not gonna hang in there if they take a cut. We might see him back in the college market though, but So back into this game right here with AJ McCarron. He's possibly going to play today.
I expect him, Billy.
What you think, Billy? You think AJ coming in today?
I believe AJ's playing, right? He practiced.
I think he's in, and I'm surprised the line hasn't moved yet because I think that's an automatic public move in this league.
Yeah, well, before they can even do anything, I'm already jumped over the over on this one. I love the over in this spot right here. 42 is a really low number.
And it's 44 now, Big Boss.
Oh yeah, I don't know let me see what I got it at.
Oh, you already got. Well, I'm just saying to be clear. I mean, because I like the over a lot, Billy.
Yeah, I actually lean a little bit towards the. Actually, they have some momentum coming into this week. I know St. Louis is getting AJ McCarron back, but how much is he really going to play in this game? Both of these two teams play each other next week in the playoffs, so you don't want to show all your cards in a regular season game that doesn't really matter too much. So I think we're going to see a conservative approach from the St. Louis Battlehawks. They'll probably let AJ McCarron play like the first half and probably bench him in the second half. For the Brahmas side of the ball, Chase Garbers is back, and he's been better than Quinn Dormady. The Stormity's been shit in the bed. But I think both of those quarterbacks are going to get some playing time in this one. And if that's the case, I could definitely see how that pushes the total over. But the one thing that's kind of attracting me is a little bit of injury depth in the St. Louis Battlehawks receiving position. These Hakeem Butler props are just here for the taking. Hakeem Butler over 55.5 receiving yards, minus 134. Him to score anytime touchdown, plus 160. He's probably, in my opinion, he's the best receiver in the league. But statistically, he's top 5 most receptions, most yards in the league this year. So if this game goes over, I think there's going to be some scoring, and a lot of these touchdown props are just really high. The shortest ones, Jacob Sailor's at even odds. Everybody else is big plus money, like Wayne Gallman plus 175. I would kind of stay away from that. They're kind of running like a 2-head back system out there in St. Louis. But we'll see how the Brahmas fare without Anthony McFarland this weekend. He's not in the lineup for them. He's been kind of somewhat electric, I would say. He pops on the television when you watch him. You'd be looking, you'd be like, this dude's in the UFL. Yeah, I remember him just playing I remember him being a waiver wire pickup about like 3 months ago for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So St. Louis, I don't know, man. It could be just one of those ones where like the bookies are just kind of eating up their money because St. Louis ends up winning. All those closing line value tickets for the Brahmas don't even matter. But I think the over could be probably the better bet. Fuck aside, just bet on points being scored.
Yeah, go ahead, Big Boss. I just want St. Louis has moved to as high as a 4-point favorite now at a couple of spots and 3.5 at some. Still see 3 minus 15 at Bet Online. To me, that's an indicator that you will get McCarron. Also, I do think that St. Louis feels like this is something to play for. I know what you're saying, Billy. Nobody cares about home field advantage in this league. If one team cares about home field advantage in this league, it's got to be the St. Louis Battlehawks. I'll lay the points.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you want to go on the other side of that, it just makes more business sense for the Battlehawks to be at home for the next three. I don't care what if they're paying their bills or not. They're getting over. They're averaging like 36,000 seats in the stadium paid for. They need them at home for the next three games because the championship's already set to play there. So they can play there this week. They get home field advantage. They play there again, and then they play the championship at home as well. So, and they're coming off a loss, so they got to be fired. This is Anthony Beck. He coaches up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They got to be fired up. So, I like the Battlehawks minus the 2.5, but some points are going to get scored. It's going to be a lot tougher for the Brahmas without the running backs that they have. That's gonna
yeah.
they
That's
they
why I
run it.
think.
Their running game opens their pass, and Latimer is out. He's on IR from last week, and that's one of their big targets, like a third down target and stuff like that. In this game today, Battlehawks could get us there over 43. I got 43 and a half, over 43 and a half by themselves. Because Beck, he likes to press the gas. He don't, he's like, we only here for a limited time. So he'll run it up. So I'm looking for the over right here.
Okay.
And I stamp the Battlehawks in this one as well.
Yeah, I like over two just because I think that there won't be that defensive intensity. But the one thing I think McCarron, he might be coming back a little early and watch. The thing about the Brahmas is they're the Brahmas for a reason. They come at you like bulls back there in the backfield. So I hope he doesn't get hurt.
I think there's
Yeah.
some value in the future markets, though. Birmingham, obviously, the runaway favorites here at minus 145 is the future winner here. But I mean, Battlehawks sitting at 3-1 odds. Big Boss just laid it out. They win this game here. And shit, they about to be at the crib for a very long time. They got some of the best home attendance fans. If you had to tell me just pure talent of quarterbacks in the league, yeah, I think Djbigboss is probably the most talented quarterback. Even his little statue has. But this could be a little bit of value, man. Plus 300 on the St. Louis Battlehawks. That might be something I would actually, have it as a future bet for the month.
Yeah, I like it too, but I don't know. Skip and that coaching is crazy. But Skip lost his defensive coordinator last week, so he has a new defensive coordinator coming in. Matter of fact, let's go back to that game real quick. Where you at on this one, Billy? Stallions and the Panthers.
Too many points, man. For the UFL, I get it. Some of these games blow out and stuff like that. But you're telling me 8.5 points for Birmingham Stallions? I know that this is supposed to be the team that after the merger, this was a team that they were really high on. I'm not that high on Birmingham, man. I see a lot of chinks in their armor. They have a really good defense, but sometimes they just get real stagnant on offense. And that's been kind of the same key for the Michigan Panthers. Um, is Bryce Perkins starting? Because if Perkins starts, I will owe my money in on him, but there's no confirmation of that. So I'm going to have to stay away. I'm going to have to get my elbows greasy on some WNBA before this.
Ah, so I'm at the time of the year where I'm just kind of playing a little MLB and UFL. So I had to make a play on this one right here, and I took the Stallions because Michigan Panthers, the injury point for me. A lot of guys are banged up on that team right there. Stallions coming off a loss, they should be fired up. And there's no reason for Panthers to really show up. They already got to play them the following week. So, I guess it is what it is on that one. But yeah, I just wanted to get your look on that one, Billy. Let's jump forward to the other game right here. Um, this is the last game. We'll go back because I forgot to do my editing stuff, whatever. But
There's four
Showboats,
games, Big Boss. There's 4 games, Big Boss, and you missed the three.
yeah, and I missed one. I don't know how I did that. Oh, I didn't even double check, so it's all good though. We could do this without all this stuff. We've been doing this since we didn't have access to this stuff, so it's not even a big deal. But anyways, this game right here, this was a do nothing game. Stay away. Shit is all over the field. Don't touch it. But they came in and say, let's crank this up a little bit. So they cranked it up. Winner of this game gets a first pick next year for the draft part of the thing. So that it put some cards on the table for these two games, but I don't know. It's still muddy waters. I mean, nothing makes me feel like, whoa, now I want to bet it. It's still, at the end of the day, the other team they both didn't have great seasons. So they're gonna be like, oh well, next season. probably a majority of those guys won't even be on that same team next year. They'll be moved around. So just a total shit show right here. And I really don't know what to do with this game. But what y'all feel about this one?
I'll go. I'll go for Billy. I'll go first because I've got the Billy Briz special right here, don't I? Houston, they're terrible. They're favored. Memphis is an awful spread team, and Houston is actually a decent spread team, even though they just won one game. I'm taking Houston.
What about you, Billy? You on this one?
This
Billy
is
Briz
like
reasoning. I don't know if he's taking that. I'm just saying.
this is some of the hardest. This is probably the hardest game to cap on the card because it's like what are they really?
Easiest
The
for
way
you.
Houston played last week, shit, if that's the same Houston that we're going to get, it's very hard pressed for me not to take them -2.5. They looked really good last week. The only thing that really stopped them was time. There was too much time on the clock. They were really controlling the game. I had a DC Defenders bet, and it was, both games are going off at the same exact time. And they turned off the DC Defenders game and put on the Houston game. I'm like, bro, nobody wants to watch this shit.
They just played the three best teams like they were the number 4 team, basically, in the end of the season here. You know, the last time Big Boss Houston was favored? Week 1.
Wow. That's crazy. So yeah,
It's
that's a lot
telling.
of value on that.
It's got to be telling. This is my Billy Briz handicap of the week. You got to take the Roughnecks. They just played the best teams down the wire, covered the spread in them, all of them. Memphis, they can't even cover spreads at this point, and they suck. So even though Houston has that 1-8 beside their thing, I mean, both teams are 1-8. I'm taking Houston.
Okay, I like it. The only thing I don't like about Houston is that nobody in Houston wants that team there. They really need to come up out of Houston. I mean, they talk about they're getting kicked out of Rice Stadium now.
Hey,
Like that's just crazy.
You don't mess with the Houston Gamblers, all right? They took the wrong nickname.
Yeah, I agree. Something is wrong over there. But to me, I
Gamblers,
chalk it up
baby.
to this. People in Houston, and I like going to Houston. It's cool out there. I hang out in Houston. But they occupy with the teams that they have. The Astros, the
Yeah.
Rockets, and the Titans, not Titans, I'm tripping. The whatever the team is in the NFL, I'm tripping. Anyways,
Even the Dynamo. The Dynamo have had some good home attendance stands over the last decade for the MLS. Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, they cool with the teams they got. They're not trying to dig this UFL thing. They need to find Texas is big enough to find another part for them to do football in because this city doesn't want it. But they on the road right here. All that's out the window. They got a good win last week. It looks perfect to take them in this spot. It was some controversy I seen with the quarterback situation.
That's what's throwing me off of this game, Big Bosses. Love, the quarterback for the Memphis Showboats, could be the worst quarterback I've seen this year. Like he's definitely up there. Like you can tell because his passing yard prop this week is 150.5, which is damn near high school numbers, and it's juiced towards the under at -134. I think homie's gonna get benched, and if he gets benched and the backup or the second backup starts playing, shit, maybe they might start popping it or something like that. And that's just kind of throwing me off. They beat their once win of the season was week 1, 18-12 in Houston. They beat them in Houston. Now back at the crib here. Definitely seems like a revenge spot though for the Houston Roughnecks, but it could be one of those ones, man. Battle of the stink. Who wants that first overall pick? I mean, what are they really going to do with it?
Yeah. Only way I see taking this game is taking the under. It's going to be the last game on a Sunday for the UFL with two whatever teams. I don't, even hanging first pick. I'm telling you, the first pick doesn't mean nothing to the players. We don't care. We might not even be here next year. So that's not going to be a big deal. They're going to be wanting to go back to doing what they was doing before this because they're not going to have any more games after this. So I think it's going to be just like maybe that NBA game with Dallas the other day. Just the other team just give up and under and, So I like the under on that one. We're going to come back on tomorrow with my man Dom Ricci. I'll probably confirm what I'm going to take as far as that game. But the game I did miss my stuff on was this the Renegades and DC Defenders. Now this is probably one of the premier games, believe it or not, but it doesn't mean much here as well. I mean, everything's kind of signed, sealed, delivered, but it's gonna be an awesome game. I think a great matchup. You got Barlow, and I would say this is a down year for him. He never got his offense where it was going. Tamu can have a good day. He could throw 3 touchdowns or 3 interceptions. Take your choice, and that's what he's gonna put up. But the Renegades has been consistent with scoring. I mean, despite all their losses and everything, they've been able to get it in the end zone. And usually when they go high, I go low. And, but this point right here, I'm gonna let the bookies do the work, and they brought the number up to 46.5, which is big for this league right here. And I'm gonna just roll with them and take the over with one of the number 1 scoring teams in the league, the Renegades, with a healthy roster, Luis Perez, everything. They have everything to gain and not much to lose for the Renegades in this one. And I'm gonna take the over in that spot, over 46.5. What you got on it, Ramon?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with my man Luis Perez. You know, Bill. You know, I love this guy. But look, do you remember the game in Week 3 when Arlington led by 10 points with just at the end? So that will stand out as something they will. You think of these games nondescript here a little bit towards the end, playing out the string last game. They will remember that, and I will think that against DC's defense, that we're going to get production out of Arlington in this one. I'm going to end up playing Arlington here in this game. Yeah, maybe some interception. Maybe there will be some defense here from Arlington. I'm not sure, but I'll mostly take Arlington here plus a couple of points. I think we're getting in this one. And maybe I'll just take them on the money line here with Arlington. That'll be my play.
How you feeling about this one, Billy?
This is a hell of a game of the week, in my opinion. I know there's other playoff teams and playoff rematches, but this is the one, man. If you ever watched an Arlington DC game this year, I mean, these two teams are what you would call pure entertainment. Jordan Tamu, he always asks why you're not in the NFL. Well, whenever you watch Jordan Tamu play, it would be like 250 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and just one random ass pick. It happens every week. It happened last week. Last week was his best game of the season, and he still threw a pick 6, damn near.
Yep.
I feel like don't tell DC that they're not in the playoffs, man. They ain't playing like it. The way they went out there and beat the shit out of the Showboats last week, I think all these boys got something to prove. All these roster spots aren't locked up going into next year. This team had the most rollover of players this year, so obviously it didn't work out. So I think Arlington, there's one thing for certain about Arlington: good offense. Their defense is absolutely terrible. This is the reason why they're not in the playoffs this year. You can't say it was Luis Perez's fault, because the way him and Sal Cannella have been connecting, Sal Cannella leading the league in receptions. I had a prop on him last week, over 43.5 yards and anytime touchdown at plus 170. He caught a 46-yard touchdown pass on the first drive. Shit, I got to go back to the well here with Sal Cannella, over 45.5 receiving yards, minus 145. The anytime touchdown prop, it's not plus 170 anymore, but still plus money at plus 140 here. I got to go back to the well with Sal Cannella. I'm high on both of these two teams' offenses, but both defenses suck, man. Over 46.5 is the play. Primetime television, ABC, 12 o'clock game. I had Arlington minus the 1 in the first matchup, week 3. They ended up getting bit by that the 4th and 14 rule. DC ended up scoring. They ended up hitting the conversion, and then they ended up winning the game. And that it was good riddance to my minus the 1. And that was like the realization, like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be betting the spread in these UFL games. The total was where it was at, because that game went way over. I think this one goes way over. If I had to project it, I would set this at 53.5. I feel like that's more reflective of how these two teams have been playing of recent. But the only thing
sounds like a premium pick.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me though is with both these two teams not being in the playoffs, are they going to be playing everybody, or is it just like, because last week I had an Arlington ticket and their backup quarterback was out, so they played the third string guy, dude I never even heard of a day in my life, and he went out there. It was like 32. They were trying to run some play for him, some Russian play for him to get some more film, and he ends up losing 5 yards. So like that's the only thing that concerns me a little bit. But I think they're gonna give what the fans what they want. Beer snake season, Soldier Field, shit. DC's got more fans than the Washington Redskins down there. So I'm gonna go with the Defenders at home here. They've only lost one home game in the last 2 years. I got to go back to the well here. I think they end up getting the full season sweep on Arlington. Little rematch of the XFL championship last year, and both of these two teams not in the playoffs this year. So, man,
What does that say? Yeah, what does that say?
That's a little revenge factor for DC. As a matter of fact, now that you mentioned that, I don't know. It might be leaning DC because I kind of doubted DC last week at the last minute and went the other way, but DC was definitely the spot last week. But yeah, Beer Snake, last chance for the Beer Snake, and it's a money move too. They DC is like number 2 in getting people in the seats, so good reason for them to play well as well. Just bring that over though. I'm just gonna stay right there with that over on that game. But anything else y'all got going on so we can wrap it up? Ramon, can you let them know where you're gonna be, all that good stuff?
Yeah, you know what's really great to come on here because I don't really talk too much UFL. Gave out a couple picks today, but don't really break them down too much. So it's good to come on and see Billy mostly and you, Big Boss. Had to come on for at least the last regular season game. Hopefully we'll catch up again in the playoffs. But no doubt, appreciate you. And look, there's not a lot of UFL coverage, so here it is.
And Billy, you gotta let them know where you at. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be on some UFC and some more stuff. You
ready,
NBA,
Billy? You ready for
if
today?
you play all sports, Billy is your guy. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and everything he does, man. It's always a pleasure having you over here, man. It's been a minute. Had to pop you in immediately. So next week, the championship is gonna be on my birthday. So it'd be nice to get you guys back that weekend for the championship for my birthday. And tell them where you're going to be at and all that good stuff, Billy.
Yeah, with the player props and stuff like that, it does kind of make the playoffs a little bit more interesting that we can kind of, get away from like the sides and go with some player props because I feel like there's a lot of edge in them. Like when you're watching the games, you're like, damn, man, like this dude had 150 yards. Like, how can I get it on that? But you got to get in over on Twitter, or as X as the kids call it nowadays, getting Bills _. We got some shit popping on today. It's a long day. They ain't gonna like me for it, but
you're gonna get limited, Billy Briz.
We're pushing the fever today, man. We're pushing the fever. Somebody call the doctor. I got a fever. Somebody's getting sick. Caitlin Clark season. I mean, shit. I just bet on Iowa about 2 months ago, and they smoked Angel Reese and them girls. Now they're running it back. They got Cardoza. They think they gonna add something to it. Nah, man. I think these girls in Indiana are gonna get this W today. The lines definitely moved drastically. It was plus 130, plus 3. Now it's at a pick 'em, and deservedly so, man. It could be one of those ones. The one thing that stood out to me in that one was 6 out of the last 6 meetings head-to-head wise have gone over for the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever. So it could be a lot.
How many of those games has Caitlin Clark played in?
That's what I'm saying, which is even more surprising because Indiana Fever historically has not had good guard play. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell's a hoop, but it's shocking that all these games have gone over in the last like 6-7 years. But it's usually Chicago.
We better go over, Billy. Them lines moving over big time.
Yeah, big time, big time. But I'm more convicted on the Fever, straight up. I think they get this W today. There's a lot of everyone's, kind of hyping up the Chicago Sky. They're coming off a good win a couple nights ago against the LA Sparks, but the Sparks didn't even have their head coach in that game. The head coach was not in attendance for that game. What is that supposed to mean? You on a road trip and your head coach ain't there? I don't know how that all factors in, but it was a great spot for the Sky. I think they're coming in with some high horses. They don't have some of their bench rotational pieces figured out yet. I could come back to haunt them here because there's one thing about the Indiana Fever. That head coach is probably minus 500 to be the first head coach fired in the WNBA this season, and she ain't making no subs. They got blown out by 25 in their last game. Caitlin Clark played 40 minutes.
Coach Miller was inducted into the Middle America Conference Hall of Fame the other day, Big Boss. We really want to get you a pick because we know you've been limited to less than $50 on UFL player props.
Sal Cannella, best bet of this weekend, man. Over the receiving yards, anytime touchdown. I mean, shit, the dude caught a 46-yard touchdown on the first drive of the season. The first drive of the game last week. You talk about the easiest money I've ever made. I was sitting there like, damn, man. I was like, let me just put a little couple quarter units on this and just chill, watch the game. I had the over. I was like, if I have the over, you got to bet anytime touchdown props. Next thing you know, man, I don't know, man. Sal Cannella looks like he should be in the NFL, not in the UFL.
All right.
Nice. Y'all heard it here first, man.
I could listen to this man all day.
Quick shout out to the chat. We had my man Winetime show up, my man Dommy Gun, Real Deal Prime showed up, and a couple others, man. But we got quite a few people watching. Anyhow, I'm not sure if we came up on X or whatever. They got some StreamYard X issues right now, but that's we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, thanks everybody for joining. I got a special announcement too that we're doing a meetup in Las Vegas right here. Come hang out with the Live Sweat folks. This is gonna be a live event in Vegas. It goes down September 27th to September 30th. So we're gonna be out there with you, Ramon. We're gonna be doing a nice little meet and greet, and then we're all gonna pull up to the UNLV Fresno State game at Allegiant Stadium. Tickets as low as like $35 right now. So come be in the house with us over there. And then quite a few of our guys are going over to the Raiders versus Browns. My man Ick's gonna be out in Vegas from Cleveland. Of course, Jimmy gonna be there. I'm gonna be there and all that good stuff. And we're gonna have a nice breakfast on Monday on the way out of there. So, man, if you need any details, anything, feel free to heat me up. And I'll let you know what's popping with that one. And, we might be planning something soon in 2025 to end out there with Billy in Atlantic City and do some things out there. My man Dami and all our East Coast guys, Nasty Nate, happy belated birthday. Gonna come together out there in Atlantic City. So that's what we got going on. I appreciate everybody coming in, and thanks for everybody in the chat and all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys. Hope to see y'all soon. Let us get up out of here.
What up, Thu?
Lock in your wins with Djbigboss's UFL picks. Want the inside scoop on the upcoming UFL games? Tune in to Djbigboss's UFL betting show, live every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there.